Now, the 7 a.m. News Hour, live on Fox Bangor.
Good morning, I'm Lindsay Mills in for Nicole Gerber.
And I'm Clay Gordon. Good morning. Here's what we have for you today.
A Dixmont couple charged with robbing the same Newport Rite Aid pharmacy on 2 different occasions were in front of a judge.
Plus, our Andrew Scheinthal spoke with experts around Bangor to learn how home sales are up, but the Maine economy is still down.
And the winning ticket for a more than $8 million Megabucks jackpot was bought at a Maine convenience store, but we don't know the winner.
I know it's not us, unfortunately. All that and more local news coming up. But first, here's meteorologist Andrew Baglini with the weather.
This morning's AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by Quality Jewelers. For that perfect gift or selling used gold and silver, it's Quality Jewelers. Stop on by 57 Washington Street, Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, or give them a call, 990-1199. We do have a few more showers to contend with as we look to head back into the week here on Monday, mainly in the morning. And then some sunshine returning over the next couple of days, but our pesky disturbance has been giving us the wet weather across New England throughout the weekend, slowly making its way up north into Canada. As it does so, however, a few more showers still wrapping around throughout the morning hours, so that's what we could see lingering on this low pressure pushing off to the north. As it does so, some high pressure will build in behind it, and we will see more sunshine later on today and into tomorrow. But I would still grab the umbrellas if you're heading out this morning. We could see a spotty shower in the area, but clouds will break for some sunshine as we head into the afternoon. We're getting up to 63 degrees, so still a little bit on the cooler side today. We'll break down for you at 6 a.m. Mostly cloudy. We could see a spotty shower throughout the morning hours, 53 degrees at 6 a.m. Through the noontime hours, a lingering shower perhaps, but clouds breaking for some sunshine, and then we're looking at just partial sunshine throughout the rest of the day. Heading into the evening, temperatures starting to drop off a little bit, 58 degrees right around 6 p.m. Now, marine forecast for you, we do have a small craft advisory in wake of that area of low pressure. A little bit unsettled out in the water, a little bit windy coming out of the southwest, 15 to 20 knots, and the waves will be getting up there 3 to 6 feet. Visibility generally unrestricted throughout the day once we see that sunshine returning. Again, the sunrise is getting later and the sunset's getting earlier. Patchy clouds heading into the nighttime hours, staying dry, low 48 degrees. Looking ahead towards tomorrow, it will be warmer, a beautiful day in fact. Sunshine, a couple patchy clouds, getting up to 72 degrees. Definitely recommend getting outside and enjoying it because AccuWeather.com extended forecast does show a little bit more unsettled weather heading our way. Wednesday, sunshine giving way to clouds. We could see a spotty shower around Thursday. Definitely grab the umbrellas, cooling off into the 60s, and we are looking at a little bit more rain.
Thank you, Andrew. There have been multiple pharmacy robberies in the Bangor area over the weekend, and one suspect is already in custody. Around 3:45 yesterday afternoon, the Rite Aid located at Union Street in Bangor was reportedly robbed. The suspect fled to the area near the Bangor Municipal Golf Course. Officers attempted to stop the vehicle behind a maintenance building, and the driver didn't stop and drove the car, get this, right onto the golf course with officers in pursuit. Police arrested 46-year-old Jeffrey Macy of Eastbrook and charged him on several counts, including robbery, drug possession, criminal mischief, and refusing to submit to arrest. Police cruisers damage estimated at $2,500, and the golf course damages are still unknown. Meanwhile, another robbery happened around the same time. This one was across the river. Police responded to the report of an attempted robbery at the Rite Aid on Wilson Street in Brewer. Someone walked into the store and demanded drugs, but according to police, may have been spooked because he didn't take anything. That perpetrator is still at large, and the incident is still under investigation.
A Dixmont couple charged with robbing the same Newport Rite Aid pharmacy on 2 different occasions have made their first court appearance in Bangor. Following a bust late last week, Newport police arrested 25-year-old Jonah Massey and 20-year-old Sydney Duff and charged them both with 2 counts each of felony robbery for stealing $6,000 worth of prescription pills, including oxycodone. Newport Police Chief Leonard McDade says testimonial, physical, and circumstantial evidence tie Massey and Duff to the robberies. The Newport Rite Aid was hit twice within exactly a month, most recently 2 weeks ago. The couple is also suspected of robbing the Pittsfield Rite Aid. McDade says the federal government may get involved due to the severity of the alleged crimes. Massey and Duff are being held on $50,000 cash bail each. And Chief McDade tells us that if bystanders find themselves in the middle of an act of robbery, call 911 as soon as possible without compromising personal safety. A Gorham man who works with young children is facing multiple child sex charges this morning. 48-year-old Michael Emerson was arrested Friday after Gorham police say two female victims who were under the age of 12 came forward recently to say they were sexually abused by him. He was charged with 6 counts of unlawful sexual assault but was released Friday night on bail. Emerson has 2 homes, one on Middle Beach Road on Fry Island and another on Dow Road in Gorham. He volunteered with children in those areas.
A man was shot and killed in the town of Cushing Thursday night, and police have now charged a Tennants Harbor man with his murder. Maine State Police have charged 40-year-old Andrew Kierstead with murdering 48-year-old Richard Mills of Cushing last week. The shooting took place at a residence on Far Meadow Road at around 8 o'clock Thursday night. Kierstead was taken into custody at the scene and brought to Penn Bay Medical Center in Rockport for evaluation. An autopsy report conducted Friday says the victim died of multiple gunshot wounds.
An attorney for a Down East timber company entered a plea of not guilty Friday in federal court to charges related to a massive marijuana growing operation. Through its attorney, Haynes Timberland Incorporated of West Enfield pleaded not guilty in U.S. District Court to several charges contained in a 10-count indictment. The charges stem from a 2009 drug raid in which Maine drug enforcement agents seized nearly 3,000 marijuana plants from land owned by the company west of St. Stephen, New Brunswick. Officials say it was the second largest pot bust in state history. 4 men, including Haynes, shareholder Malcolm French, have already pleaded not guilty to conspiracy and other charges. They collectively carry hefty prison time and fines in the millions of dollars. The case is on the November 7th trial list, though it's unlikely it will be tried this year.
The father of a family all charged with growing marijuana in their Monroe garage has appeared before a magistrate judge in federal court Friday. James F. Ford pleaded not guilty to 4 charges contained within a 7-count indictment, among them conspiracy to manufacture 100 or more marijuana plants and maintaining a drug-involved place. The allegations come after drug enforcement agents seized more than 300 pot plants and 10 pounds of processed drugs valued at more than $800,000. Now, last November, they also found 2 semi-automatic weapons. The MDEA says the family harvested 20 pounds of marijuana every 3 months and shipped it to Massachusetts. Ford's wife and 2 sons have already pleaded not guilty to several charges. Ford has been released on a $20,000 unsecured bond.
A Clinton woman has been found guilty of stealing welfare benefits. 32-year-old Teresa Rice Goodrich was convicted in a Kennebec courtroom last week for stealing $47,000 in welfare benefits. From January 2006 to August 2011, Rice Goodrich told the Maine Department of Health and Human Services that her 3 children lived with her and needed food stamps and temporary assistance for needy families. A DHHS investigation unveiled that her children did live in the house for a 3-month period, but the majority of the time was spent with grandparents. Rice Goodrich was convicted of deception and unsworn falsification. She has been sentenced to 9 months in prison, 2 years of probation, and must pay more than $46,000 in restitution.
And needs a haircut, I guess. A new report blasts Amtrak for dangerously overlooking drug and alcohol use by its employees. An internal audit by the nation's largest passenger rail carrier says drug and alcohol use by Amtrak's employees has steadily risen since 2006. The majority of employees who failed drug tests were reported to have tested positive for cocaine and marijuana. The report says Amtrak's employees failed drug and alcohol tests at a staggering 51% higher rate than the rail industry average. Now, federal regulations requiring railroad companies to do drug and alcohol testing were implemented following a deadly 1987 Amtrak collision in Maryland. 16 people were killed.
4 Brewer public safety officials were appointed at a swearing ceremony in Brewer Friday at the Public Safety Building. Chief Perry Antone was sworn in as the new Brewer Public Safety Director. Ralph Kamick was appointed as the new Deputy Fire Chief, Jason Moffitt was sworn in as the new Deputy Police Chief, and Chris Martin is now the new Police Captain of Brewer.
We're a very close organization between police and fire already. Our goal now is to develop that relationship even better by sharing ideas, thoughts, concepts, and supporting each other in each other's roles.
The 2 departments are looking forward to their work together to provide the highest level of public safety for Brewer. A recent report shows home sales in Maine are up, but another shows that Maine's economy is still down.
Our Andrew Scheinthal spoke with experts around Bangor to learn how these 2 reports, which sound conflicting, are anything but.
Maine home sales are up over 15% compared to last year. Sounds like good news, but the state's economy hasn't budged. In fact, in the last 5 years, the median household income dropped nearly 8%.
Well, the federal government is not active in big policies with respect to the economy other than what they're doing with money. The Federal Reserve is manipulating interest rates. Low interest rates obviously help boost house sales.
Dr. Kreiner goes on to say that the low housing market has also worked to the advantage of new home buyers.
Housing has been in such a valley for a long time that it naturally will want to come out of that. And at some point they'll say, well, I'll go ahead and drop the price and sell it.
So with Maine's economy still in rough shape and a number of home buyers making the big purchase, many for the first time, it's important they heed the advice of an expert.
Making sure that homebuyers can afford their properties is a very important thing.
That includes a realtor helping a home buyer take out a loan, mapping out a mortgage, and planning for the future. But for people who find themselves in a financial hole, there are services to help them dig themselves out.
Provide foreclosure prevention and then foreclosure counseling for homeowners that are already in the foreclosure process.
So with Maine's economy in a slump and home sales going up, it may be the right time to think about making a move.
It's a good time to buy real estate in Maine and housing in general, because we expect the Federal Reserve is intentionally trying to raise the prices of real estate.
So it just so happens that the slow recovery in Maine not only helped home sales, but boosted them through the roof. In Bangor, I'm Andrew Scheinthal.
Andrew, thank you. Still to come here this morning, the Maine Department of Health and Human Services is appealing a decision made by the Food and Nutrition Service.
We'll tell you what the Fed said about the SNAP program right after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. The Maine Department of Health and Human Services is appealing a decision made by the Food and Nutrition Service regarding the state's supplemental nutrition program known as SNAP. The federal government reduced the benefits given through the SNAP program. However, Maine's policy still reflected the higher rate. Maine has since changed the amount it gives out, but there was a period of time a higher benefit was being given. Now the federal government is saying the state is responsible for paying back those funds.
We do believe that collection of overpayments, which has been part of past practice here and in other states, needs to be fully understood and evaluated, but we adamantly reject the recent decision regarding the liability solely being borne by the state.
Mayhew says that if the department was to collect the overpayments back from SNAP recipients, it would average about $20 a month at a maximum of $80.
The National Governors Association is one state short after Governor Paul LePage pulled Maine out of the organization. LePage says the state doesn't get enough benefit to justify the $60,000 a year membership dues. The governor says he'll attend the association's winter meeting in Washington, D.C. because the sessions include meetings with the president and cabinet officers. Now, LePage also says he's told his commissioners to take stock of whether the cost of membership in any national associations they belong to provides enough value to Mainers to make the expense worthwhile.
Election day is getting closer and closer, and candidates are using every opportunity to get to know their constituents. Republican Senate candidate Charlie Summers held a town meeting in Brewer Friday night. He discussed topics ranging from the federal deficit to foreign affairs and promised to reach across the aisle and work with politicians in all parties, as he says he's done in Maine.
I've done that as a state senator. I've done it as a Secretary of State. Most recently, when we passed the teen driving laws, we kind of set our differences aside and made sure that we've got that done. But beyond that, as a military officer, as someone who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, I feel like I've had the experiences to make tough decisions.
A group of skaters visited a local middle school Friday to talk to kids about preventing bullying and how they could keep it out of their schools. Students at Holbrook Middle School in Holden were joined by members of Central Maine Roller Derby Friday to learn about the dangers of the issue and how they could stomp out bullying. Roller Derby members talked about the dangers of cyberbullying and what kids could do if they see this happening amongst all of their peers.
People that play roller derby, they come from all walks of life, different sizes, shapes, ages, professions, life experiences, and it matches up very well with students. They all have different backgrounds, different experiences.
And today is Stomp Out Bowling Day at Great Skates in Bangor from 6 to 8 p.m. Admission is $3, and if you wear blue in support of the cause, admission is half off.
The winning ticket for a more than $8 million Megabucks jackpot was bought at a Maine convenience store, though the person who bought that ticket has yet to come forward. The ticket sold at the Big Apple convenience store in Fairfield represented one of the biggest lottery wins in Megabucks history. Employees say they are excited the winning ticket came from their store.
When I heard, I came all the way in from Madison just to see if it was real. I probably would like to be able to tell a person just to see the reaction and to know who it was, and hopefully it's a local.
MacArthur believes the winner will come forward in a day or two once realizing he or she holds the winning numbers.
And still to come here this morning, National Drug Take-Back Day was this past Saturday.
We'll take you to Bangor Police Department after the break, but first, here's your job of the day.
Welcome back. If you have prescription medications that you no longer use, don't throw them away or wash them down the toilet. The Bangor Police Department took part in a National Drug Take-Back Day this past Saturday. Anyone with prescribed medication could drop off their drugs anonymously. And while the Nation Take-Back Day has come and gone, you could always drop off your unused drugs at the Bangor Police Department any day of the week.
At the Bangor Police Department, we happen to have a drug drop-off that the people can come in anytime. Our lobby's open 24 hours a day, and they can come and drop off all the drugs that they want to drop off, and still it's completely anonymous.
Officials say it's important rather to not flush drugs down the toilet or throw them away because they can contaminate the sewer system.
When it comes to commercials that really grab your attention, some of the most memorable are for Procter & Gamble's Febreze Air Effects air freshener.
And Consumer Reports wants to see if this product really lives up to its ads.
This Febreze ad shows an experiment using an old goat, a sweaty bodybuilder, and a day-old fish. A group of real people confirms that it all stinks. Then the room is treated with Febreze Air Effects, and blindfolded people are brought in.
Take a deep breath and tell me what it smells like.
Very springtimey. Springtime. Like flowery.
Consumer Reports decided to do a sniff test of its own, calling on some brave volunteers. They were taken to a room where a cat litter box and sardines had been sitting for 4 hours. Blindfolded, they confirmed the room smelled bad.
Just smells like yuck.
Then tester Pat Slavin sprayed the room with Febreze Air Effects. More blindfolded staffers were let in.
It's very strong, the smell. It's not pleasant.
Rotten fish and maybe some floral notes.
It smells to me to be a lot like the men's room at a truck stop.
But others weren't as critical.
Yeah, it smells like fruit punch.
It's not really a pleasant smell, but it's not awful.
The bottom line, although the spray concealed some of the odors, it didn't work as well as it did in the ad, and any effects were just temporary.
So you still need to clean out the cat box, put your fish away, and take out the trash. This is James Andrews.
Smells like spring in here. Definitely over here, I think. Well, Consumer Reports also tested another Febreze spray, Air Effects Pet Odor Eliminator, and to see if it worked any better with the litter box smell. It did a better, but not by much job, so you have to stay on top of cleaning that litter box.
Now here's meteorologist Andrew Baglini with today's weather forecast.
This morning's AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by Quality Jewelers. For that perfect gift or selling used gold and silver, it's Quality Jewelers. stop on by 57 Washington Street and Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, or give them a call at 990-1199. We are looking at a little bit more wet weather as we head back to the week here for your Monday, but the sunshine will return, and the next couple of days looking very nice as well. In the overnight hours, there are upper level disturbance still giving a few showers across portions of New England. As it shifts off to the north and east, we could see a lingering shower here in the Bangor area, so I would still keep the umbrellas handy when heading out the door this morning, with this area of low pressure pushing off to the north and east into Canada. As it does so, some high pressure building in behind it, and that will give us more sunshine today and especially into tomorrow, but more rain is on the way coming in from the south and west, that reaching us Wednesday and Thursday. For today, though, again, look for those showers around in the morning, but clouds will break for some sunshine in the afternoon. Overall pleasant. Still a little bit on the cooler side, though, only getting up to 63 degrees. Heading out the door in the morning hours around 6 a.m., keeping it mostly cloudy around 53. Could see a spotty shower throughout the morning, even lingering into the afternoon, but that's where we see clouds breaking for some sunshine into the 60s. Partial sunshine the rest of the afternoon into the evening. Temperatures dropping off around 6 p.m. at 58 degrees. Now, with the marine forecast for you, we do have a small craft advisory in the wake of this area of low pressure. A little bit unsettled out there on the waters. Winds coming in out of the southwest. 15 to 20 knots, waves getting up there 3 to 6 feet. Visibility generally unrestricted after those morning showers and the sunshine returning. The sunrises getting later, sunsets getting earlier. Sunset at 6:14 p.m. If you're heading out tonight, you won't need the umbrella. A couple patchy clouds, but staying dry down to a low 48. Beautiful Tuesday ahead of us. Tomorrow looking great with plenty of sunshine, patchy clouds, and warmer up to 72. Recommend getting outside and enjoying it because your AccuWeather.com extended forecast does show a few showers around on Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Andrew. Now, as always, we'd like you to join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. That's at Fox ABC Maine on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Old Town's largest annual tradition, now in its 16th year celebrating the city's waterfront, wrapped up this weekend. Even in the rain, hundreds of people turned out for the fun. People took part in all sorts of festivities, from listening to good music, eating the famous doughboys, and enjoying fireworks that lit up the night sky. And of course, walking around and enjoying all the different booths and seeing what each one had to offer.
We've got a lot of crafters. We've got different organizations that have set up booths where they're either doing food or passing out literature or selling their different things that they've made.
Now that the festivities have wrapped up, organizers will get together in January to start planning next year's festival.
They just get done with one, they have to plan the other one, but Lindsay, you were actually at that event while they were setting up on Friday. Tell me a little bit about it.
You know, a lot of work goes into it, but it's really a collaboration with the whole city. You know, the fire department's there, city workers are there, volunteers. You know, it's a whole community effort coming together to get this event ready each year.
Now, the weather was all right when you were setting up,
yep,
but it did not hold up this weekend. It was actually a miserable weekend weather-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would affect it?
No, I mean, in that video, it looked like there were still a lot of people who turned out, so sounds like a good time.
So we're going to have to go there next year. And so I'm here on Fox Bangor. The Fireball Run has come to a close, and it all ended right here in the Queen City.
We'll take you there when we come back. Stay with us.